You have to excuse me for yawning.
What was
Didn't
that,
get a lot of
Gary?
sleep last night. I said you have to excuse me for yawning a lot because I didn't get a lot of
Oh.
sleep last. So,
I'll try to keep you excited.
oh, I can
Big breaths.
I'll sure I'll be fine.
I did my hard breathing this morning, so I'm good.
Yay!
Okay, how do we go with our lessons for the week?
I did pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
Still on my same one, but
yeah,
it works for me, so I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. I feel like going through my old ones and seeing if there's any actually, but then I don't know. I like the new stuff too. So on the
Well,
second
you
read,
know
we'll
what?
do that after you turn 7 and 90, Gary.
I had an awareness though that I don't get to the gym very often, but we have a gym here in the community I live in, but it's more like a geriatric gym, where there's lots and lots and lots of old people, kind of treading on them. I'm like, oh my God, this cannot be my fate. Um,
Say we
and then
lycra. I just got this picture in my head. Sorry, Gary. Please continue.
no, I'll be in skin tight little shorts scooting along. No, that will never be me. Thank you very much. But I realized, and I think it's my own judgment of myself, I realized like I wasn't even aware that I was judging. I go into the gym and I just kind of everywhere I look, there's something to judge. I'm like, at the end of it, I'm walking to the car with Robert, and I was like, God, for the last hour and a half, I think that's all I've done is just been judging. And I'm like, okay, well, now I get to be really alert to it. Those situations just gets me so. Do you guys have situations where you enter them and you just get like, you just turn into a judgment monster all of a sudden? Please tell me
Without,
someone else does that.
without realizing, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, I'm gonna have to really be on top of it when I go to that gym. Stop judging. So
That's your test. Your test for this
that's
week, your
yeah,
challenge.
that was my epiphany.
Yes. There's a lot of value in the noticing, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
there
is.
is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
step, isn't it? A step.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you for pointing that out, Coralie.
Mm. Next
Yeah.
step, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
And then step after that, go to the same environment and don't judge.
Yeah.
That might be a few steps away, that one, or a great big step.
Maybe some flogging in between might help.
Whatever you choose is right for you.
Oh, let me have a little fun.
Who else wants to go share for the week? How did you go?
My one was any response other than love arises from confusion. Mm,
Yes.
there's quite a lot of confusion.
Yes, I had the same one. I agree, Coralie. Um, and I kind of feel like, with stuff that's going on, and there's a lot of confusion, and it's just trying to send love to that confusion. That's not my confusion. I'm pretty clear. I don't understand how things are so confused, but you can't do much from here. So yeah, just sending peace and love.
Peace,
Yeah.
love, and tranquility.
Yeah, I'm the
Yes.
only American on the call, which is so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jane might come a bit later. I'll have to follow up a few people because Wendy was coming and now she has not appeared for a few weeks, so I'll send her an email. Yes. Linda, how did you go?
And mine was to identify with the ego is to attack yourself and make yourself poor. So uh, it's a beautiful thing when you do realize that your ego is taking over and you just suck it in and you go nut and walk away from it. It's such an interesting lesson,
Mhm.
and how the people around you actually react with that.
Mm.
So yeah, I think I achieved that, but it's something to continue to practice. Yeah, quite blown away by it actually.
Mhm.
And I know that I've done it in the past, and we all do. We just go, no, too tired, can't do that, and let it go. But when you're consciously doing it, it's quite an interesting lesson.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
Okay, let's start reading, shall we?
Hmm.
Number 9.
Great American accent there, Dee.
I know.
Speak up for the other Americans than I can.
In honor
It's
of you,
actually
Gary.
from it's actually from a Beatles song, Revolution number 9 or something from they just say number 9, number 9, number 9 all the way through it. So it's where it's in a pocket in my head and it comes out occasionally.
I don't know if I've ever heard that Beatles song.
I have to
Oh,
find
no.
it.
Recall it.
Yeah.
It's one of these. It's one of these obscure tracks in the background on like the White Album or something, and it's yeah. That's all it says all the way through it.
All I remember doing when I was young is taking lots of LSD and listening to Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band over and over and over
There's a
again
lot to listen
for
to in there. So
days.
yeah.
Oh, I was a bad child. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
The world you perceive is a world of separation. Perhaps you are willing to accept even death to deny your father. Yet he would not have it so, and so it is not so. You still cannot will against him, and that is why you have no control over the world you made. It is not a world of will because it is governed by the desire to be unlike God, and this desire is not will. The world you made is therefore totally chaotic, governed by arbitrary and senseless laws, and without meaning of any kind. I agree.
Hmm.
For it is made out of what you do not want, projected from your mind because you are afraid of it. Yet this world is only in the mind of its maker, along with his real salvation. Do you believe it is outside of yourself, for only by recognizing where it is will you gain control over it? For you do not have control over your mind, since the mind is a mechanism of decisions.
So is that ego? For you do not, for
But you
you,
do.
oh, you do have
You
control over.
do have control over your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mechanism of decision.
Personally, I think well, my interpretation is that it's relating to the choice of the focus of our mind.
Hmm.
Because we have made the world around us by constantly making our separated minds' thoughts more real than love and connection.
Yes.
And it's odd to read this because, I mean, I'm sitting here in the US with a president who's mad, who's threatening to annihilate an entire civilization in the next 6 hours. And so I'm sitting here going, okay, well, that's madness. And he is mad. But at the same time, this is sort of the world that the separated mind and the insanity of the mind has created. Yeah, it's madness.
Yeah.
And I love this. For it is made out of what you do not want, projected from your mind because you are afraid of it. Yet this world is only in the mind of its maker along with his real salvation. You know, I
Sort
think
of.
to fully absorb that, you have to believe that the body's not real.
Mm.
That's kind of the only way.
So the body is just a vessel for our mind, really, isn't it?
Mm.
And our spirit, you know, it is a vehicle we're riding around in.
Yeah.
Mm.
But to the five senses, everything seems very real.
Mm. That's our experience.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, that statement is made out of what you do not want, projected from your mind because you are afraid of it. One of my favorite things to say to people when they're going down a rabbit hole now is, what do you get? What do you get when you focus on what you don't want? You get
Mm.
more of what you don't want. So
You'd be
Yeah.
a hard friend to hang out with.
I say it in the nicest way, and my friends are pretty good about it, and they know.
No,
So
that's a
yeah.
fabulous question. That's a fabulous question. That's probably one of the best questions you could ever ask.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm taking it, V.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
I have a client that needs to be said to over and over and over again.
Yes. There are friends who don't get it, but they're still friends.
But also, you have particular situations where that is really hard because there's
Yeah.
so much that you don't want.
I have a friend who just got back from a cruise, and we were having a 2-hour chat the other day, and I was asking her about the cruise and what they did and what they saw and what the experience was and how she felt about it. And she just kept coming back to the fact that she's been sick for the last 2 weeks since she got home. I'm going, yeah, but what was the trip like? Oh, well, it was good, but I've just been so sick and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God. So, and like the other night I had a sore throat and I thought, oh God, and it was one of those really scratchy sore throats. And I thought, you know what? I am not falling into this. I am not allowing my body to become sick because I've just got way too much to do. And by the next morning, I was fine. I didn't take anything for it. All I did was drink water and it was fine. So it's exactly what you say, V. If you focus on the things that you don't want, they're exactly what you're going to get. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
remember
hard to
listening.
listen to others that do it.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
I was listening to a Wayne Dyer CD years ago, and I just remember the story he told about going to the gym, and there was this guy who was sick, and he said, "Oh, how long you been sick for?" And he goes, "Oh, it's going to be another 2 weeks before I'm well." And it's like, I'm going to go through this and this and this and this. It's like, oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. Manifestation, hey?
Oh,
Mm, yeah.
Do we need to break this down anymore again?
sure that we do. We happy?
Yeah, I
Always.
am.
This is the last one for this section.
Woohoo.
Coralie, you want to read that one?
Sure.
Looks like you're getting ready.
If you will recognize that all the attack you perceive is in your own mind and nowhere else, you will at last have placed its source. and where it begins, it must end. For in the same place also lies salvation. The altar of God where Christ abideth is there. You have defiled the altar, but not the world. Yet Christ has placed the atonement on the altar for you. Bring your perceptions of the world to this altar, for it is the altar to truth. There you will see your vision changed, and there you will learn to see truly. From this place where God and his Son dwell in peace, and where you are welcome, you will look out in peace and behold the world truly. Yet to find the place, you must relinquish your investment in the world as you project it, allowing the Holy Spirit to extend the real world to you from the altar of God.
Well, I love that last sentence. That's great.
But the real world.
Mhm.
How many of you have ever watched The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston?
Oh God, decades ago.
Decades ago, yeah. When it was like a Sunday matinee or something, and it was just on in the background.
Yeah, Robert and I, well, because it was Easter here, so just played all day long. But it's worth watching. It's quite interesting to see how they depict those stories from the Bible. It's really interesting. So, yeah, if you ever have a minute and the inclination, I thought it was really, really interesting.
We talked a few weeks ago about the movie Song Sung Blue. Over the weekend, some friends invited a group of people around to their place, and we had a movie night, and they put on Song Sung Blue. So to watch it again, because I'd watched it a few weeks ago, and it's fantastic, of course. But to see it again, and it's always the same way, isn't it? When you see it again, you look at it from a different angle because you already know what you perceive to be the story. So there were all these other things that came out of it as well, which were just, but it's a story based around love, forgiveness, all that sort of stuff. So I thought that was fantastic. If you get the chance to watch it again or watch it for the first time, it really is a great movie. And I'm not into Hugh Jackman at all. And when I first started watching it, I kind of get that cringy thing going on. But when I saw it the second time, it was great.
Mm.
It is a really good movie.
Yeah. They're
Music's
just so
fantastic.
real. They just feel like real people that you can go and touch them, and yeah.
Well, I did look them up. I did search it because it is a true story. Well, based on a true story because it's there's some bits in it that have been changed for Hollywood purposes, I guess. But the mere fact that when I think about her and the car that wiped her out and then the second car that almost wiped her out, I'm thinking, okay, you've only got to see the positive in that, really. So when she starts cracking up laughing the second time and talks about lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, there's lots of little things like that in the movie that are really, you can really relate to on an everyday basis. But they were an amazing couple from what I read up on them. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Mm.
Very much so. It was a beautiful movie.
It is. And I'm sorry if somebody hasn't watched it and I've kind of given some spoilers there. I apologize for that. But yeah, watch it because it really is amazing.
Yep.
Well, since we're at the end of a section, I'll take that as my cue and say goodbye.
Okay.
Ciao,
Thanks,
Bella.
Coralie. Glad you got to read that one then. We'll see you next week.
See you, Coralie.
See you,
Bye.
Carolee. Drive safe.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
And
I don't
then
know
there
how
were
much
three.
traffic. Yeah, I don't know how much traffic there is in New Zealand, but drive safe.
Well, she's in Wellington, and that's a very busy city. Well, it's the capital. It's a very busy city.
Is that North Island or South?
North, bottom of the North Island.
Windy Wellington.
Windy Wellington. Yes, and I've been in a little pencil plane as it's flying into the Wellington airport on a windy day, and it's we're passing sick bags back to a lady at the back. She was just throwing up continuously.
Oh,
And you can see out the front window because it's a pencil plane, so there's no partitions or anything. And you can see land, you can't see land. You can see land, you can't see land. It was really amazing. And that's got to be, 35 years ago, I suppose. Mm.
well, shall we progress?
Sure. I feel like there's more in there, but I think we are digressing. So let's go. Seeking and finding.
No, I like this.
Mhm.
Bea, have you read yet?
I haven't. Shall I?
I think you
Ready
shall.
to. The ego is certain that love is dangerous, and this is always its central teaching. It never puts it this way. On the contrary, everyone who believes that the ego is salvation seems to be intensely engaged in the search for love. Yet the ego, though encouraging the search for love very actively, makes one proviso: do not find it. Its dictates, then, can be summed up simply as seek and do not find. This is the one promise the ego holds out to you, and the one promise it will keep. For the ego pursues its goal with fanatic insistence, and its judgment, though severely impaired, is completely consistent. Right.
I love for the ego pursues its goals with fanatic insistence. That's cool.
It's true.
Mm. But it is so true. You know, when you first find love, regardless of what that situation is, whether it's a new friend or it's a lover or whatever, or even a pet, it doesn't take long for that love to change. Like it just becomes an everyday
Routine.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
if it's
hobbies.
any consolation, Linda, I've been with Robert for 26 years, and it was like that for after about maybe for about 5 to 7 or 8 years. It was sort of like routine, still bristling up against one another, ego still, active. And then there's just beautiful transition that happens, where you just start to accept everything about the other person and realize there's a positive intention and start to love them for everything they are and everything they're not.
Mm.
And that begins then, I think, for me anyways, it has moved forward into more unconditional love. And that it's the best thing.
Yeah.
It really is the best thing.
Mm. Yeah.
So that can come. I mean, you and your man can reach that place.
Yeah.
But you both have to be a special soul to do it, I think.
Mm.
Like you both have to be moving and want a similar thing.
Well, I did one of those really crazy things the other day. I kept getting
That
this
could mean
ad.
a lot of things.
I know. I do a lot of crazy things every day. So, but this one in particular, I had this ad keep popping up, find your soulmate. And I thought, oh, well, it's $1 for the report. Let's do it. And it's him. And it really pissed me off.
Did you tell him?
I did tell him. I went through the whole story because there's a sketch that they send out, and I'm looking at it thinking, well, yeah, that could be him, but he had hair and no beard and what have you. So I thought, okay, well, I'll put it through ChatGPT and see what it comes up with if I get the hair removed and put a big grey beard on him. And I looked at it and I went, oh my God, yeah, it's him. Yeah, and I was so annoyed. And I did tell him that. He goes, yeah, I would have been annoyed too. So it's interesting because I guess doing that kind of helped with my lesson as well. It just made me go, you know what? Because there's many times when he says to me, you must have had a shit upbringing and shit relationships from the way that you react. Because it's not just occasionally, it's the way I react every single time. And and I've told him a couple of stories, or a couple of my realities from my life. And he just, yeah, he doesn't get it, which is a good thing because he had a really good upbringing. And while he had some crap relationships, he's not the sort of person to just hold on to things, whereas I always have been a hold on to, you know.
Well, Linda, it isn't even that you hold on to them. It's that your nervous system is conditioned neurologically to be triggered by circumstances that are familiar to what you experienced as a child. So it's not that we're oversensitive, and it's not that we even have even traumatic memories, which of course we do, but it's more of the neural response that the brain is wired for protection. So when your five senses get triggered, your body's already dumping cortisol and adrenaline before you can even think a thought.
Yes,
So you kind
definitely.
of have to explain that to him, that you do your best to wind yourself down off of the chemical cascade of fight, flight, and freeze and reason yourself back to some form of logic. But until that trauma is dealt with, you really can't control the neural responses.
Well,
So,
the other night when we were out at our friend's place for this movie, I went to grab a bottle of red wine, and when I turned around, he went to reach, because he was going to reach over at the same time, but when I turned around, all I could see was his hand, and I went like that, and he instantly put his hand down, and he just looked at me like there was no need for any words or anything, but I could see in his eyes that he was starting to understand that there's certain things that, and I didn't react apart from that jolt. But yeah, it was just this realization that I saw in him, of him realizing. So it's kind of interesting, and when you're talking about, like that's decades since all of that sort of stuff happened. You're exactly right. It's muscle memory. It's is it your ego that holds on to all of these sorts of things? It's that whole
Subconscious has kept it because it's
Yeah.
it's a way to protect you.
protection. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
it's not ego. I mean, it's really, your sense of survival.
Yeah. Yeah. Which
So be
protection and
grateful
safety
to
are
it.
the two top that they always have been in my life. protection and safety. And if I don't have those things, then things just unravel and fall apart. So it's just very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
The trauma, your TMRT help with that, Gary?
It would. You
Mm.
would have to, Linda, you'd have to make a list of the times that you were either hit or attacked or made to feel really, really unsafe. And you can self-facilitate yourself with the TMRT process and just make a list and go through the list. You may have 50 or 60 of them and start neutralizing those particular memories. Your nervous system will start to calm down.
Mm.
And then on top of that, start listening to alpha brainwave music on, just go to YouTube and Google alpha brainwave music and do that. And your nervous system will start to calm down. Because when we're in hypervigilance, we're in a beta brainwave state, and that is going to cause lots of activation of our mind, our ego, our fear, our projections. All of that is going to be really active. But when you go into alpha, that is a beautiful brainwave state to imagine being in what you want to create in that state, because then your subconscious mind gets imprinted. Like Robert and I have been walking around, we've been doing ceremony at our house to sell our house. We've gone all around, we put flowers everywhere, we've touched all the walls and thanked the house for the gift of its protection for our life for the 7 years we've been here, and welcoming in the new person that will, or people that will buy the house, and sending a whole big cascade of like a beacon of lavender light up into the sky so the right buyer can find the house. So we've been doing all of these things that are non-physical but very, very powerful, doing our best to kind of influence the quantum field of probability to bend into the direction of our perception and our perceiving. And I did the pendulum and I kept saying, okay, the house will sell in August. No. We'll sell in June. No. We'll sell in July. No. We'll sell in May. Yes. And I'm like, nothing's selling right now. But that's what it said, May. So I'm along for the ride.
Nice.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to hearing the result of that, Gary.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
Me too.
Mm.
Hmm.
I think we've done that one. Maybe we'll move on to number two, eh?
We squirreled, or I squirreled.
No, I don't think we ever do squirrel. I think it's whatever we're talking about is what needs to be
I kind of
discussed.
agree, V. No,
Yeah.
in fact, I really agree, V. I think it's my
Lady
turn, is it?
Linda.
Oh, it's
Is that
Linda's.
Gary?
Go. No, never mind. Linda, you go for it, darling. I was getting a greedy reading.
You're being a bit keen.
The search the ego undertakes is therefore bound to be defeated. And since it also teaches that it is your identification, its guidance leads you to a journey which must end in perceived self-defeat. For the ego cannot love, and in its frantic search for love, it is seeking what it is afraid to find. The search is inevitable because the ego is part of your mind, and because of its source, the ego is not wholly split off, or it could not be believed at all. For it is your mind that believes in it and gives existence to it. Yet it is also your mind that has the power to deny the ego's existence. And you will surely do so when you realize exactly what the journey is on, which the ego sets you. Oh, crikey.
So we can say thank you to the ego for setting us on the journey, but at the end of the day, it's not there for the long haul.
Mm.
No.
And that's perfect. At some point we have to let it go.
I personally can't wait to ascend. Like 90 sounds kind of good to me. It's like I'm getting closer to the wedding day, you know.
And the journey requires a bit of surrendering, I guess, then, because the
It,
end it's in perceived self-defeat. So,
Mm.
it requires to surrender everything.
mhm.
Your will, your outcomes, your goals, your body, your identity, all of it.
I quite like this. The image I'm getting from this is that, because having had so many transitions in my life where, people have been left behind, that's exactly what it is. It's like people get you so far and then they're not necessarily going to be here the whole way, and that's okay. And you can say
Well,
thanks very much.
your childhood really set you up, V, for transitioning without attachments.
Hmm.
My childhood kind of set me up for that too, because I consciously chose never to have children, never to do that and leave my DNA here when I left because I didn't want attachments. So I think Linda is kind of in a similar place. Is that true,
Yeah,
Linda?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So when we go, we can just kind of leap out of our body and run towards the light. That's my plan.
Yep,
Nothing's
yep.
holding me here.
Yes. And I think I've got friends who, they're getting on a bit and they're contracting quite a bit and and relatives are dying, and every time someone dies, it's even if it doesn't matter, it's so and so who's like so far removed and haven't seen them for 20 years, but they take on this grief. And I mean, I agree, but then it's like I don't think leaving this planet is such a bad thing. So,
We've done it a trillion times before.
And we're all
and
going to
so
do it. Yeah.
even when Mum died, and I still grieve occasionally. I'll be like, oh, I should call Mum about this. And of course I can't. But then she
Yeah.
knows, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, when Robert's mom died last May,
Mm.
I I have never seen a death with no physical suffering. She had like no physical suffering. Even when you die, your body evacuates its bowels. Not her.
Mm.
No. Cleanest death I've ever seen. No pain. Just, well, she was on morphine, but um, she just drifted off. It was very, very interesting. I've never seen a death like that.
Mm.
Really peaceful.
Yeah, I was just thinking back to my dad's death. I believe that I think that he was wearing nappies of sorts, whatever that is for elderly people. But um, yeah, I think it was pretty clean as well, which is kind of nice to think.
Yeah.
What happened once he was taken away, though, you don't ask about those sorts of things, of course. But I do recall almost tears. So at his funeral, when we went up to the coffin, it was almost tears that were coming out of his eyes. Yeah. And I like to think that that's because he realized that he was such a prick throughout his life and he had no redemption.
Or he was in so much joy to be out of a body and a personality that had no redemption that maybe he finally felt free from it.
Maybe, maybe. Yep. Thank you
I
for
was there
turning that
when
into a positive.
I was there when my dad died. I saw him take his last breath, and he was dying of lung and bone cancer. And it
Well, that's a
just
rough
felt,
one.
yeah, it was pretty icky, and it was very painful, and I could just feel there was no pain. I just felt like he'd left the pain behind, and he wasn't there. That body was not him anymore. It was just a shell, and he was free. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did it turn to death? But there we go. The conversation's always perfect.
Yes, absolutely. And
Mm,
conversations that we have are so healing,
mm.
regardless of who's doing the talking or who's doing the listening. It's so healing for all of us, I reckon.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's just beautiful. I
Mm,
appreciate conversations that we have.
Me
mm.
too.
Sending you huge hugs, V.
Oh, you too.
Shall we do number 3?
Let's
Yes,
do.
I think it's your turn, Gary.
It is surely obvious that no one wants to find what would utterly defeat him. Being unable to love, the ego would be totally inadequate in love's presence, for it could not respond at all. Then you would have to abandon the ego's guidance, for it would be quite apparent that it had not taught you the response you need. The ego will therefore distort love and teach you that love really calls forth the responses the ego can teach. Follow its teachings then, and you will search for love, but will not recognize it.
That's pretty powerful, that last sentence, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
a mic drop.
it is a bit.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Wow. The next line's really powerful. Can I
All
read the
right.
next one? Or
Yeah,
Sure.
do
go.
you realize that the ego must set you on a journey which cannot but lead to a sense of futility and depression? To seek and not to find is hardly joyous. Is this the promise you would keep? The Holy Spirit offers you another promise, and one that will lead to joy. For his promise is always seek and you will find. And under his guidance, you cannot be defeated. His is a journey to accomplishment, and the goal he sets before you, he will give you. For he will never deceive God's Son, whom he loves with the love of the Father.
Hmm, beautiful. Seek and you will find. Love that.
I love that paragraph.
Yeah.
None of them tonight seemed convoluted in meaning.
No.
Did you think so too, V?
Yeah, it all seems pretty clear. Maybe it's
Straightforward.
just our reading as we get more in tune with
Maybe,
the text.
yeah, maybe we're getting smarter. We can only dream. I think we may have time for one more. Shall we go to the
Yeah,
fifth one?
sure.
Who would like to read? Linda, would you read?
Sure. Have you read yet, V?
Yes.
You will undertake a journey because you are not at home in this world, and you will search for your home whether you realize where it is or not. If you believe it is outside the search, if you believe it is outside you, oh God, if you believe it is outside you, the search will be futile, for you will be seeking it where it is not. You do not remember how to look within for you. You do not remember how to look within, for you do not believe your home is there. Yet the Holy Spirit remembers it for you, and he will guide you to your home because that is his mission. As he fulfills his mission, he will teach you yours, for your mission is the same as his. By guiding your brother's home, you are but following him.
That last sentence is a bit, how did we get to your brothers? Now we're talking about our brothers. And that always gets me because it's like, it's so easy for me to just be peaceful and in love and blah, blah, blah. And I love my friends, but not a lot of them are on the same path. And it's guiding your brothers home. That's the trick. That's the crux of it all. It's all well and good to sit on a ivory tower and meditate, but the real work is with our brothers and sisters.
Mm.
You reckon we can squeeze one more in, or you want to ponder this one a bit more?
It's pretty clear to me.
Yeah.
So we could
Yeah,
squeeze one more in.
I'll read that one. Behold the guide your father gave you, that you might learn you have eternal life. For death is not your father's will, nor yours, and whatever is true is the will of the Father. You pay no price for life, for that was given you, but you do pay a price for death, and a very heavy one. If death is your treasure, you will sell everything else to purchase it, and you will believe that you have purchased it because you have sold everything else. Yet you cannot sell the kingdom of heaven. Your inheritance can neither be bought nor sold. There can be no disinherited part of the sonship, for God is whole, and all his extensions are like him.
Oh, wow.
And that is the truth of us. Mm.
Hmm.
What would it be like if we walked around in that state that God is whole and we are just like him? And there's no one and nothing that is disconnected from him. And
Hmm.
all of us are equally valuable.
And if we don't see it, then we're just being tested.
Or we're focusing on the wrong thing and suffering for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's focusing on a reality that's not a reality.
Hmm.
Power, wealth, success, all of those things help contribute to that too, don't they?
They do.
Oh, I've got a few there to pick from my lesson now.
Yes, you do.
Well, I have my lesson. May I
Yes?
share?
Yes.
Seek and you will find.
Yes. All right, I'm going to go with, yet to find the place, you must relinquish your investment in the world as you project it, allowing the Holy Spirit to extend the real world to you from the altar of God. It's a long one, but I think I'm up to the challenge for that one.
I'm keeping mine. That's the thing that brings me back to center the fastest.
Beautiful.
How about you, Linda?
Yes, I've done
Excellent.
mine.
Yes. Seek and you shall find. Beautiful. We're good to go. Go forth
We
and
did
spread the love.
a marathon tonight.
We did.
We did quite a
Looking at
few, and
that.
we're almost at the end of another section. We did well, troops.
We
We
did.
did.
Yeah.
I just checked the news to see what Trump has done, and they have reached a ceasefire agreement, and the Strait of Hormuz is going to be opened up again.
Wow.
Good.
So no mass extinction. I didn't think it would happen because I just think
No.
it's so wrong. It's so out there for
Yeah.
this period of
Yeah.
history, but yeah, you never know.
Well,
So,
I
gang,
think
world's
our
in
little
good
cuddle of
stead.
love helped with that.
Yeah.
I think it did. We'll claim that one, B.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I know at some point we'll be 90 going, remember when we stopped the war?
Was
I love
episode 293 or whatever it is.
Well, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know who you two are going to be, but I'm going to be the Holy Ghost. You can fight over the God and the Son.
No idea which one I'll do.
No, me either. I'm going to claim all three. Makes
There you go.
perfect balance then.
Little bit of each.
Yeah, be
Cool.
greedy, Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, gang. I've got a client I got to see before I go to
Yeah.
bed tonight. So I will see you
Okay.
guys later.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye bye.